Hi, you guys. Welcome back. My name is Carrie Penny. I am the Happy Crafty Homemaker, and this is my third video to be filmed today. So please forgive this if these are all going up back to back. I don't know how that's going to work by the time I get these uploaded, but a lot of the same look. Maybe I should have, maybe when I'm filming like 5 videos at a time, I really have to start changing my clothes in between, or at least like my shirt. That way it looks like, doesn't look like I'm a dirty girl, just like, sorry you guys. So hopefully the title of this video clued you into the fact we're going to be talking about how well I did on my 2020 goals. So before we get started, if I seem disappointed, it's not because I didn't meet a goal. It's a thing I got very close to. Last year I had a lot of comments that were very concerned that I had moved and everything else, and I was frustrated how close I had come to things and didn't quite make it. I don't set goals as a hard and fast, I have to do this year. It's a reminder for me of the things I want to accomplish because I will forget. I mean, I'm totally ooh, squirrel, ooh, new thing, ooh, shiny. I will go off in multiple different directions. This is a tool that I use to help me focus what I plan on doing. Part of it is looking at like my stash and going, okay, these are the things I want to focus on using this year. I want to put an extra emphasis on using certain tools or certain products this year. It's not shame on you, Carrie, for not completing all these goals. I had a lot of lofty goals the last 2 years, and 2021, when I do that video, you'll understand, is no different, and it's worse. There are very specific things I want to focus on. There are very specific things I want to do in 2021. And those are some lofty goals that I'm setting for myself, but it's not a, pulling your hair out, stressing out about it. This month I made a shawl and a whole bunch of squares. That's all that happened for the month of December. And I'm okay with that. I could have worked on other things, but I didn't. And that was a choice I made. I made the choice to not work on other things and to focus on my advent calendars. I have one finished and one mostly finished project for the entire month of December. That's it. It is what it is. I'm all right with that. So, if you are not familiar with my 2020 craft journal, that's what this is. Goal number 1 was to use 75 pounds of craft supplies, consumable craft supplies, out of this room. Now, even though looking around you can't see I use that much, I used 90.6 pounds of consumable products in my finished objects this year. My goal was to make 15 preemie blankets. I completed 5. I didn't do an Advent charity project this year. I did do one for Lent, and that's where I did the 5 I got done. I did make a lot of hats, which we'll get to. So I did other mindful, prayerful crafting. I didn't meet certain goals in that, though. I wanted 25 hats to donate completed this year. I donated 45 hats. That's not including scarves or shawls that I donated. My goal was to complete 10 blankets. Now, if we counted the preemie blankets as one whole blanket, I made this goal. But I didn't. Because they're so small, I counted them as 2 for 1. Baby blankets, I'll count as a whole blanket. Twin size, whole blanket. Lapgan, whole blanket. But the preemie blankets are so tiny, I couldn't justify counting that as a whole blanket. So I only completed 7.5 out of 10. I'm not angry about that. I am not mad about that. My dad's Christmas blanket was 3,000 grams of yarn. I am not mad that I only got 7.5 blankets done. And like I said, it would have been 10 if I were counting the preemie blankets as one blanket. But instead we're doing 2. I wanted to make 400 cards. I made 509 cards this year. I am so pleased with that. Part of that was working through the Minions pad and doing those for donations. I do have a stack of cards to be completed that are mostly done. So I will be starting off 2021 with a huge goose to my number for 2021. I wanted to make 5 shawls. I made 25 shawls this year. Some have been donated, some have been gifted. I did finally remember to give my friend her birthday shawl, and she loves it. We still haven't had time to do crochet lessons, but she loves her finished shawl. My yarn ban. So I was going to give myself one big sale, and then if there was like something I needed to finish a project, I could purchase that, obviously. I technically did not shop one big sale. So when I did shop the blueprint going out of business sale, that was my birthday gift. That was what Troy wanted to give me for my birthday. That was part of my birthday gift. So while I did shop that into season clearance sale, or into business, going out of business sale, I didn't really do any other shopping. Premier didn't have their warehouse sale, and they didn't do the online deals that they normally do, where you're getting, you know, like the colors they're discontinuing of like the anti-pilling for 99 cents a ball. They didn't do that this year online. So, and same thing with Michael's. The Hobby Lobby sale I did purchase from, but I purchased giveaway gifts for my vlogiversary. And a birthday gift I was sending out. So like, aside from the yarns that I got, you know, through product reviews or things like that, like I really didn't buy yarn this year. I did not stash yarn, which is really how I should have worded this, is nothing to be stashed. I have a better guideline set out for myself for 2021, but that's another video. I wanted to complete 15 scrapbook pages this year, and I did 0. I have done 0 scrapbooking this year. I wanted to make 6 pairs of socks. I've completed 3.5 pairs of socks. I did make my dad's Christmas blanket. Very pleased with that. I did continue to work through my cotton stash. I have yet to find the grocery bag I took the original picture of 2 years ago, but I have added a couple things to it. I have found some more cottons now that I am enjoying working with, so it's not so bad. I do really like the Premier Home cotton. That little bit of polyester just makes it not quite as drying on my hands, which is weird because other people have a problem with polyester drying their hands out. I did not try brioche knitting, and I am so super jealous of Gary over at Urban Yarn. I love him to death. I am constantly blown away by his just fearlessness in crafting. He's not been knitting that long, and he's now doing these beautiful brioche patterns, and because of the way it's almost like a double knit fabric, and the colors and textures he's pulling together for these brioche pieces, I'm just like drooling over his taste. You can see I don't know how to say it. It's all of us make art, but what he does is his color choices and texture choices are so impactful. And when he started doing the brioche stuff, the color alone just added so much to the pieces he's been working on. Can I be more like Gary? Can I just make that a goal for 2021? I finished my Jada and Stitches 2017 blanket. I did not make any progress on the 2019 blanket. I wanted to work into 25 hanks of sock yarn. I worked into 20 hanks of sock yarn. Just let me explain. By hank, I mean the 100-gram set, not like my 50-gram balls that are match sets. The double is 1. So working into 2,500 or 2,500 grams of sock yarn. Getting into 20 was a pretty big deal, even doing the fade shawl. And I do have the stuff set aside for another fade. I haven't decided what pattern I'm going to use yet, but I do have a fade planned for probably the spring. I want to have it done for spring. Not that I'm going to do it in the spring, but that'll help me with next year's sock weight goals. I did not finish my peppermint blanket. I decided against doing the Star Wars blanket. It's so out of date now. When I wanted to do the pattern I had originally, the new movies hadn't started. And there's so much that's been added to the canon of Star Wars with The Mandalorian and all the extra movies and Rogue One. And I'm not a big enough Star Wars fan to make a call of what else should be in a blanket. I've watched the first 6 movies, and that's really it. I did watch the latest one with Rey, but the first one, I'm just not a Star Wars fan. It's not, that's not my fandom. I appreciate it. I will probably eventually watch The Mandalorian, but I can't make a judgment call with all the new content out there that is canon, and then the favorites that aren't canon. I can't make this blanket anymore. There's just too much new stuff. So I made the decision that yarn, when I get more holes in the wall behind you guys, it will be rehoused. It'll be put back on the wall for other projects. The black sparkly one I'll probably use to make a spider poncho for something else I have planned for 2021. 2021 is going to be full of new things for Carrie. Anyway, yeah. I've decided it's no longer going to go on the list of things I want to make. It's, as much as I would love to have gifted this to the person it was going to be for, the franchise just changed too much. I can't keep up with it, and there's new stuff coming out, and he's a big fan of the new stuff too. So it's just not going to work. And the other one was starting the llama blanket, corner llama blanket. Terry from Yarn Joy made one. I bought the kit from Lion Brand. It's been sitting in my closet in a big old 31 tote, just like this one. By the way, did not ever pay full price for these. I bought all the ones I had on clearance. I had an amazing rep. And yeah, I own a lot of them. I've had a couple of people comment on the number of 31 bags I own. Part of it is my rep and I are really good. My former rep, she's no longer selling, but we were really good friends, and she would send me occasionally like a birthday gift or a just because or a thinking of you, and it would be overstock from her own collection. I also bought the outlet sale when that happened once a year, the big one where you were getting 80% off things. I mean, some of these big bins I only paid $10 for. And while, yes, Walmart does carry knockoff ones, and so do Aldi, the knockoff ones I've had have all broken. I've never had a 31 fall apart on me. That's one of those buy quality, not quantity. Anyway, that's a whole separate thing over there. We'll come back to that in a second. I completed, my FOs completed 149 Yarny projects this year. I used 24,617 grams of yarn, which is 54.26 pounds or 24.27 pounds. 51,765.87 yards, or 29.4 miles of yarn in my finished objects this year. Now, part of that is completing the Jade and Stitches blanket, completing my dad's Christmas blanket. My Advent shawl project was 2,000 yards of yarn, 520 grams. So I did do some really big projects that got those numbers way high. This is one of my years with the fewest number of finished objects, though. 149 is actually pretty low for me. I normally hit 200 yarny finished objects. Part of it was the Advent stuff. I didn't complete anything else or work on anything else for the month of December. Part of it is the card making got extra this year, which I'm not complaining about because I really enjoy card making. I had a lot of bigger things, the fade shawl. I mean, once again, that's 5 skeins of figuring what yarn I worked into that. So yeah, my output quantity wise was not that high, but I did do a lot of larger projects this year. In my non-yarny FOs category, I have 37 completed items. Now, I did weigh and count like certain batches of things, like 43 Christmas cards out of one set, 24 out of another set. So it seems really low, but like some of these were spread out or encapsulated a bunch of stuff in a specific group. But including the things that I 3D printed, which I shared in my latest show and tell video, or maybe by the time this comes up, it won't be. Show and tell 92 is when I shared those. Including those, I have 16,481 grams and other finished objects, which is 36.33 pounds. So my total used poundage was 906 pounds, or 990.6. Yeah, I overall cannot say I'm unhappy. I feel like I accomplished more and less than what I had set out to do, and I'm not at all angry about what I did accomplish versus what I didn't get accomplished. So I feel pretty good about that. I'm I know that seems weird, but I feel pretty good about what I got done this year, and I don't feel disappointed at all. Now, I do have a lot of work to get where I want to be with certain things, but I mean, that's kind of life. Dude, there were coffee grounds in that last sip of coffee. Because I'm filming so many videos today, I brought down multiple drinks. Just so I was prepared. Anyway, I would love to hear if you set goals for yourself in 2020. How do you feel like you did overall? Are you setting goals for yourself in 2021? What are you going to be doing? Is there anything, based on having watched my content, you think I should have as a goal for 2021? I'm still building my list and fleshing my list out. This year for 2021, I am keeping my list going. I'm not going to have a finite number of things. I am going to give myself room to add extra things because I do come up with, man, I really wish I had thought of to add in there. So I will be keeping my list continuously updating, and we will do the quarterly updates. I will continue to do the quarterly empties separate for yarny stuff. I think in Show and Tell 93, I should have a final count of my yarny ball bands done and a picture taken of those. If not, it will be on Instagram or somewhere else. I will have a separate video discussing my 2021 goals. I do have a lot of information that I want to include in that, including how I'm going to handle yarn purchase restricting or craft supply purchase restricting in 2021. So I look forward to seeing you guys real soon. I love you. Please take care of yourselves, and I will see you guys real soon. Bye, guys.